It's just crazy to think about you guys and how you're perceived publicly, that at a certain point you were this like hated group of fucking white trash pieces of shit. And then somehow over the years it pivots into being beloved white trash pieces of shit. Like, isn't that so fascinating?
I think people respect that we survived, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And we're still
yes.
here, you know, and untouched. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're here without a flake off, you know? Like we're killing it. We've been killing it steady. Juggalos know we keep them entertained, man. It's such a fucking honor. You know, these people are so incredible. They're so fucking creative. You know, they had, like in the Juggalo world, there's all kinds of Juggalos selling Juggalo wear and custom-made Juggalo things and just all the shit to each other. It's so fucking fascinating to sit and watch because people think we created it. How the fuck did we create something like that, man?
Right.
That shit is organic. That shit happened, and we're just freaked out as everybody else, man.
You ever feel like fucking the Grateful Dead or something, where like those bears, like people will be doing art with them or painting them on walls and all this shit, or like think about what it must be like to be in fucking Metallica and you're walking down the street and you're just seeing fucking 7-year-old kids in Metallica shirts. Does it feel like that at a certain point, like almost like you were a fucking Walt Disney, like you created like all this intellectual property that is so big that you almost don't matter anywhere near as much as this image or this thing. Like, yeah, you're the guy who created it, but there's going to be kids who love Mickey Mouse forever who are never going to give a fuck about Walt Disney.
You know what, though, man? Man, at the end of the day, I think it's about survival. I think people respect it. And, you know, our what do you call it? Our notoriety is fucking way bigger than our actual success. You get what I'm saying? Like none of these people are coming to our concerts. None of these people are buying our CDs or buying our songs. You know, none of that is happening. You know, it's a situation where if they see us somewhere in public, they're like, wow, that's really them. But they're in their zone. They're in their environment. They're not going to come to a concert at fucking 1:30 in the morning with 1,500 sweaty kids jamming together up on a stage. You know,
right.
But no way are they doing that, you know. But if they're sitting at a festival or something and ICP comes out on stage, they're like, whoa, that's really them. That's those clowns. Fuck yeah, they've been around forever.
Yeah.
You know, because they give it up now as opposed to back in the day, they were all like, just like, fuck you.
Right.
Every festival we played, there'd be like 600 to 1,000 Juggalos right up front with painted faces, and the rest of the whole fucking 19,000 would just be like, I mean, I'm dead serious. Every person.
Right.
Or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about right now, like 2004, 2005, I was sitting at Union Square in the middle of Manhattan on my bike. This is where all the BMXers and skateboarders would hang out. And I had primarily done most of my ICP listening in like 97, 98 or so, that type of area of my life. So now fast forward to 2005 and we're sitting there and there's a ICP show in Jersey, I believe. So like the train gets off, it's late at night, and these are all kids who are coming back from the ICP show, getting off the train. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like the vibe of everybody looking at all these Juggalo fans, it was hard to believe that we're seeing it in real life, because in the middle of Manhattan, like you're used to seeing them at the ICP shows. You're not thinking that you're gonna see them in real life. And yeah, I mean, like the way that the crowd sort of people sort of regarded them, I wish I could like go back and like relive just the way that felt. But there was definitely an extent, like you guys really
You feel the energy.
You speak for the fucking outcast for sure, because those dudes that we're seeing walk by and women, they're like, they didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought
Scrub
about
life,
them in
man.
that minute.
Scrub life. That's scrub life.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we holler, man. Shaggy's got it tatted on his stomach. You know what I mean? I'm getting scrub life on my forehead tomorrow, you know?
I like
scrub life is, you know, the motto, you know, freedom. Be you, man. Be you. Or be a clown. Who gives a fuck? If a clown slips on a banana peel and busts his ass, he's a clown. Everybody's expecting it. Leave him alone.
I mean, just so much shit in rap glorifies, you know, wealth and status. And like, you know, it's important, I think, at a certain point that there has to be a voice that says, like, you're a regular guy with a regular job and you're into some weird music and shit. Like, it's okay. Like, you know, somebody has to speak for that.
And you know, man, there's a documentary coming out too, man. I want to let you know about. It's coming out. It's called United States of Insanity.
Okay. And
it's all about the fucking FBI when they labeled Juggalos a gang.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We talked about it before, and yeah, man. And the documentary is all about it. You know, pretty much captures everything I filmed, the March on Washington and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
We schooled that shit, man.
That's dope, because that's one thing I was thinking is like, the ICP legacy at some point, it needs to be told in a way that's concise and well done for future generations, you know? Because like as time goes by, these kids get harder and harder to like, you know, really teach them shit, you know? But I want to like, you know, it would be dope for me to be able to tell my friends who don't necessarily understand ICP to be like, watch this fucking documentary and you'll get it.
Yeah. Well, the documentary is more about, you know, the FBI thing and less about the band, but that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Because that's what's important. You know
but I think it's important to like just seize onto the best narrative and then like allow that to also tell the story, kind of, you know?
You know, yeah, that's the thing about ICP, man, is you might hear one song and think, man, I could never like those motherfuckers. But that's the thing about ICP is our songs, you know, we try to make our songs so different from each other.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, we don't have any boundaries on what we'll do.
Right.
You know what I mean? We might put something really soft out, like Moments of Love by you know, or something, you know, really soft song. You know, we'll do that shit. We love that shit. We might do acoustic, and we might do a metal ass song with guitars. We might do a straight fucking death pop. It's pop, but it's death pop. You know, we would do a death pop song, you know, just straight up sounds like it's a pop record, you know.
Right.
We do all that shit, man. We love it. Music is the fucking shit.
I respect it. Hey, I wanted to ask you about this thing though, is that there was this sort of a viral controversy where basically Shaggy was on another podcast without you, and he was asked to review a guy who had actual clown tattoos on his face, and it was his paint like tattooed onto the guy's face. The guy was making all these videos, I guess, being sort of regretful about it, and Shaggy's whole like demeanor was basically kind of like, you dumb fuck, like what the hell were you thinking?
Oh man,
did you see this? And
no.
like, oh, you didn't see it? Okay.
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
I felt like it was sort of like a bigger thing.
I think I did hear something about it, but somebody said he was getting controversial. But you know what? He probably just made a mistake and said something dumb. You know what I mean?
He was just sort of like joking on the guy. Like the guy's sitting there making a TikTok talking about how he regretted doing this.
Listen, let me be honest, man. When we do meet and greets, man, sometimes it can be the hardest thing in the fucking world, man, all right? Because people come up, and sometimes people will just drop a megaton bomb on you. They'll be like, what's up, Jay, man? I just want you to know, man, my daughter died 2 years ago yesterday. Yeah. You know, and you're just standing there, like, you don't know what the fuck they say, you know? Or a kid might come up, pull his shirt off, his whole fucking back is tatted out, right?
Right.
And he's looking at you. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you say?
And if you have one or two people that are like that, maybe you can handle it. But when you have 100 people in a row that are kind of like, some good percentage of them are kind of unloading their trauma on you. I've been in that position, and it's like, I don't know if I can do meet and greets because it feels like it's emotionally overwhelming.
It is,
sometimes.
brother. It is. You know, you're exactly right. And that's another thing, man. The masses are always right. Listen, just being a celebrity, you know, listen. Honestly, the masses are always right. Like, there's a lot of unfair shit that happens with celebrities in their life. You know, celebrities can be very lonely, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them are in trouble like that, you know what I mean? And man, 100%, you know, it don't matter because the masses are always right, you know?
Right.
Like, if, you know, you should never be a dick in public. It's your job, you're a celebrity, you know what I mean? No matter what kind of mood you're in, you know, all that shit is scary. I feel bad for Joey that happened, man, that he's getting heat on that. But, everybody knows Joey ain't like that, man.
Yeah.
Every fucking day we're together. Okay, this is honest to God truth. I'm not lying. I put this on everything I love. Every day we're together, there's at least one point where we're like, "Can you believe this shit, bro? Like, look what we're doing. Look what we do for a living, dog. Look how hard we've been killing this. You know what I mean?" And what I'm trying to say is, our lives are always overwhelming. You know what I mean? He's overwhelmed by that. He probably said something dumb. You know what I mean? Right. Everybody knows Joey's got nothing but love, man.
100%.
You know what I mean? He does in his heart, man. Everybody knows that. That sucks to freaking on him for that. He probably just, yeah, man. That's how quick it can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sucks, man.
I feel you. I wanted to ask this question: What year was peak Juggalo fandom? Like what year would you maybe have like sold the most tickets, or was it the most out of control?
You know, probably 98, 99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, we had the Great Malenko with, you know, double platinum.
Because that's when you got all the real controversy, and you were on TV every day and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they ran a. You know, I remember they ran the record company, Jive, bought a slot, like a chair. MTV charitied off, you know, a slot, like an hour worth of television.
Right.
They sold it to charity. You know what I mean? The money went to charity. So Island or Jive Records bought the time, right? And with that hour on MTV, they chose to air a documentary on ICP called Shockumentary, right?
Okay.
And every time they went to a commercial, the guy voice from MTV, he was like, this hour was auctioned off for the da-da-da charity, and this is how Jive Records chose to spend their money. I swear to God. And everybody seeing us get shit on like that, everybody was like, that must be good shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they fucking bought it. And that week, we fucking went from like 4,000 sales to fucking 50,000 something that week on SoundScan.
Right.
Because of that one MTV bump. 50,000
Right.
motherfuckers went out and bought it. You know, so that was like a big thing for us, that documentary airing, you know?
Right.
Because they really tried to shit on it, but all it did was make it sound like it's some really heavy shit, you know? And
Yeah.
it is exactly that.
It's so funny when I think back to the '90s, how they're like I've listened to Cannibal Corpse a decent amount. You know, I'm not like a big death metal guy, but I've listened to Cannibal Corpse a good amount. Why? Because Tipper Gore took a stand against Cannibal
See?
Corpse because she needed like some white shit to kind of balance out the fact that she was coming at NWA and shit, you know? And so Cannibal Corpse, boom, they become like this legendary death metal band.
I
Like,
didn't know that about them.
largely because of the fact that the media tried to sort of cancel them, you know?
Fucking wow.
And I mean, I always kind of ponder how interesting that is, that you guys having this one. I mean, at the time, it might have even seemed like it was kind of a mess, and that it could be kind of like this defining moment that sort of introduced the world to you guys, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, there was definitely, that was the, felt like, you know, when things really turned on. And it feels like they never turned off, you know?
Yeah.
Because we live in that world, you know what I'm saying? Like when we realized, you know, we're not good on these festivals and everything, we're not getting any love, we just sort of burrowed our own tunnel, you know? And we've been living in there, burning our way through the underground for like the last, you know, 15, 20 years, honestly. And then we came up, and it's like a different world now. Everybody's like, you know, it is honestly like that. Everybody's like, man, respect, man. You know, we're like, yeah, that's dope, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we love making friends, man. We're all about not being hated, man. That's a good feeling.
That's dope.